take your seats. So I have the privilege of introducing our mistress of ceremony, Portia Young. So Portia Young is a native of Detroit. She attended the Meadow School of Journalism at Northwestern in Evanston, Illinois. Upon earning her bachelor degree, she began her broadcasting career at WKOW TV in Madison, Wisconsin. For 14 years, Portia was an anchor and a reporter at 3 different ABC affiliates. Her longest tenure was at WISN TV in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where she was the morning anchor. During that time, she received several writing awards, including 2 Emmy nominations. After the birth of her first child, Portia left broadcast news to pursue a career in public relations and corporate communications. She returned to her alma mater, Northwestern University, to earn her master's degree in integrated marketing communications. Portia is the director of corporate communications for Sargenta Foods Incorporated, a family-owned business where there's 1.4 million company based in Plymouth, Wisconsin. In this role, Portia is telling stories of the great American company that hires good people and treats them like family. Sargenta Leads in Cheese Innovation has been named a top workplace in Wisconsin several years in a row. Because of her love of storytelling, in 2016, in addition to her role at Sargenta, Portia became the host of Emmy-winning 1036 on Milwaukee PBS. The monthly news magazine program is part of Milwaukee PBS, presents Thursday night lineup of local programming telling the important, impactful stories of people of Southeast Wisconsin. As a daughter of 2 educators, Portia believes in lifelong learning. She serves on the board of directors for the AIDS Resource Center of Wisconsin, Seton Catholic Schools, and the Cathedral Center Homeless Shelter for women and families. She is married and lives with her husband and young daughters in Milwaukee North Shore. She is a loyal Green Bay Packers fan and has a large following on Facebook and Twitter. Please join me in welcoming our mistress of ceremonies, Portia Young.
Thank you very much, Doctor. I told her she didn't have to say all that. She said, too late, I've rehearsed. I am just so happy to be with you this evening. This is a wonderful celebration. First, let's just give Dalry a round of applause and everybody who pulled this together. You know, Miss Dalry asked me almost a year ago, to be part of this 10-year celebration, and I said, amen, yes, yes, yes. So I'm just happy to be here. And I've seen so many faces that I have met in the community. Deanna Brown, she's here. Deanna Brown, we sponsored her Habitat home, Sargento did, and so we have a great partnership with Deanna, so it was so nice to see her face. Just so many people, and I just feel so blessed to be a part of this community. I've lived here now since 2003, and a lot of people say, well, you're not at Channel 12 anymore. I thought you left. No, I didn't leave. I love Milwaukee, and it's become just a really nice community that I can raise my family in. So with that, I'm going to tell you why I'm here, because this program and this organization spoke to me. When Dalry contacted me a year ago to be here, I said absolutely without hesitation, because I felt a kindred spirit. I felt like I knew why she fought to put this organization together. So it was 10 years ago when Black Girl Magic came together and created the African American Breastfeeding Network. And their goal was to make sure that other African American mothers would be able to feed their babies the way God intended. So their mission still is the same today, to normalize breastfeeding. And it may sound odd to say that, but it is, to normalize breastfeeding. For years, we were told to value science over nature, or what was man-made over divinely made. When I became pregnant with our first child, Many of you saw that journey on the news. I felt like the Kool-Aid man at the end of the thing, but that's what had happened. So, but there was never any doubt in my mind that I was going to breastfeed our daughter. I didn't know she was a girl at the time, but there was never any doubt. But the doubt came from my own mother and my older sister, who had had children, and both of them, oh, you don't need to do that. I got no support from them at all. I don't know why, but I didn't. So they just were saying, well, your milk's never gonna come in, and oh, I tried it, and he cried, and it just doesn't work, Portia, it doesn't work, you can't do it. Okay, I'm the second born, so I'm non-compliance. My older sister is compliance, I'm non-compliance, and I found that to be true with my two children. So once Tatum was born via C-section, she was breech, so it was a plan. My doubt started to come because I had the C-section. My hormones weren't activated, so my milk didn't come in right away. And I said, okay, maybe they were right. But the nurse at Columbia St. Mary's looked at me and she saw the despair and the determination that I had, and she said, we don't have to do a bottle if you don't want to. I said, no, I don't. And she said, okay. So they got this little tiny baby cup, and they put some formula in it, because we had to at that point, because I was still waiting. And we gave it to her, and she just sipped it. And she said, I bet you never seen that before, a little baby sipping a cup. I said, no, I haven't seen that. I didn't know what I was doing. But she just saw my determination, and she had kind of seen the journey that I was on. So we did that. My mother and sister, they watched when they came in the next day, me feeding this little baby with the cup. But it worked. And then finally, God happened, and the milk came in, and I just was able to nurse my baby. And I was just so, so proud. But then there was more doubt. So I got home, and Tatum had a heart murmur. So we didn't know how serious it was, but it was pretty serious. It turns out 3 years later, Tatum had to have open heart surgery at Children's Hospital of Wisconsin to repair the hole that was in her heart. And Deanna Brown saw Tatum's elevator, which is behind the Clifford desk, if you know what I'm talking about at Children's Hospital. So because she had a heart problem and she wasn't gaining weight, I had to forego the breast, because we had to measure her food to see exactly how much she was getting, because she was not gaining weight. But I pumped exclusively for 14 months. I fed my baby my milk for 14 months. So some people say exclusively pumping is, you deserve medals to do that. I don't know that, but it was a challenge. But I was determined to do what God intended me to do. So that is, and I did the same for my younger child, but she, for 12 months, I exclusively pumped, because once I did introduce the bottle for her, she refused me, and I was so sad. But maybe I could have come here had I known 3.5 years ago to get some support, to get her to relatch. But maybe if my husband lets me have another one, I'll be here with you. But thank you very much. So that is my breastfeeding journey, and that is why I said absolutely, because I know with more education and more support, we can have more success stories and do what God intends us to do, and to feed our babies the way that nature intended, and to not have to pay $35 a can for formula. That's how much Tatum's formula would have been. She was on that hypoallergenic stuff, and I had to fortify because she wasn't gaining weight. So that's my story. I'm just very, very happy to be here. And I know that AABN for the past decade has had many more success stories just like mine. The support, the network that you guys have built, this community. Look at all the people that are here today. This is amazing. So we are here to celebrate. All right, with that, I want to show you why we're celebrating. And I want you to pay attention to the screen, because we have a lovely tribute video. that really tells the story of what this organization has been able to do and the inspiration it has brought to this community the past 10 years. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Sherry Johnson. I was the first president of the board of directors of the African American Breastfeeding Network. I breastfed both of my sons, and that really motivated me to join the co-founders to lift up this critical organization for our community. I'm so proud and so grateful to have seen it grow over the last 10 years, and I know it's going to do amazing things as we go forward. Congratulations, and thank you so much for all you do.
Happy 10th anniversary AABN. My name is Gabrielle. I became involved with the network because I breastfed my other 2 children, and it's been 5 years difference for me. So I just needed a little refresher, and I got that support from everyone that's involved. Plus great nutrition tips, not just for me during my pregnancy, but also for the whole family, which is great. I got to incorporate new recipes and snacks that my kids love now, and they also enjoy being a part of the pregnancy process with me. And we are all waiting for this new baby to arrive and share in the breastfeeding process. Thank you so much.
Happy 10th anniversary, AABN, woo! So my name is Lalita Salas. I'm a breastfeeding care counselor at MOK WIC and Milwaukee Health Services. I've been here since 2010, and also I have volunteered for AABN as well. AABN is a wonderful place to volunteer, to go to learn more things about breastfeeding, to kind of educate you and family. Also, they have great food. How it all started for me prior to that was when I met Dowry at Warwick when I had my daughter, Yori, who's 9 years old now. She helped me with my breastfeeding experience. I was a first-time mom, didn't know anything about breastfeeding. Family members wasn't as supportive, but I found a lot of support with Warwick, with Dowry Blackwell. And she pretty much helped me throughout my breastfeeding experience. I learned how to pump at work. I learned how to latch my daughter on correctly, even though it took about a week or two. But she pretty much got me through a lot of headache. But overall, I breastfed my daughter for 13 months fully, and now at the Dowry referred me to Angie, who's her partner in crime. I've had the honor and the appreciation to be here helping moms and be able to relate to them and give them advice and teach them my knowledge and skills, what I have learned through Angie and also at Dowry, and including Mary Shaw too, about breastfeeding. So again, enjoy and happy anniversary.
Happy 10th anniversary, AABN. My name is Kimberly Diaz, and I've been a part of AABN since 2012. AABN has really impacted me to be a better breastfeeding mom because of all the different stories behind the breastfeeding, the benefits. I've had a couple of preemie babies, and they've been really supportive of helping me to breastfeed my babies and to give them the breast and not have to take a bottle. So I'm very happy to be a part of AABN.
Okay. Happy 10th anniversary, AABN. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. It was a pleasure coming to all the gatherings and all the encouragement from all the wonderful, strong women at AABN. I want to say thank you, and this is my baby Noah, and thank you all for your support.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
Thank you so much for meeting with me. And who is this little precious package?
So here we have Hayden Marie Whitley.
Okay. And tell us your name.
And my name is Latoya Whitley.
Okay. So Miss Latoya, tell me what you know about AABN or how you came to find out about us and your experience with us.
Yeah, well, I found out about the African American Breastfeeding Network through my husband, basically. He's a researcher and he researches everything in life. And so when we found out we were pregnant with Hayden, our first child, I was nervous about everything in life. And so he was looking for ways to help with that. Mm-hmm. And so we knew we wanted to at least try to breastfeed. Mm-hmm. And so I was looking at classes through the hospital system. And he said, why don't you try something more community-based? Mm-hmm. And I said, well, what do you have in mind? Right? And like, obviously you're thinking of something. What is it? Mm-hmm. And he says, what about the African American Breastfeeding Network? So I looked you guys up, and there was a meeting happening like a week later. So we said, all right, let's try it.
Okay. And so what did you find was helpful about the event that we have?
You know, I've been to a few now, even one since having her. And what I found that AABN helps me most with is being knowledgeable, right? Mm-hmm. So before having her, I said, I want to breastfeed, but what if that doesn't work? What if in hospital, for whatever reason, I can't, right? Mm-hmm. And so when I came to your meeting, I found out that, hey, I could actually express milk, and we could have them spoon feed, and we could use syringes or do whatever needed to not give her a bottle. And I never would have known that. So I went in a lot more knowledgeable about everything. And it turns out that, you know, she latched on initially like a pro, but it didn't have to happen that way. And so I felt good entering, knowing what to ask for.
Okay. So if you wanted to say something to another mom who is expecting and she's kind of unsure about what she might need to do, what would you do? What would you say to her as a mom who's now experienced the joy of breastfeeding?
Yeah, I would say it's not, if no one, in my case, no one in my family breastfeeds. So I would say it's not scary, it's not odd, give it a shot, go to a meeting. There are people out there who can help you, who can walk you through this process, and who will even come to your home, as Dalvery did in a visit after Hayden was born, to make sure that everything was going well.
Okay, and so you know we're honored for you to actually be a part of this project with us. We're actually celebrating 10 years of normalizing breastfeeding. Anything you'd like to say as we close out?
I would like to say that you guys are doing amazing work in the community. I'm not someone who says that if you don't breastfeed, you're a horrible mom, but I say if you can try it, at least try it and see how it goes. And I think you guys are getting people to at least that point and even beyond. And keep up the great work.
Well, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thanks, you too.
That is the power of AABN, and I was remiss. I saw another friend here, Latoya Dennis, and I were colleagues. I would say in the news business. She's at Milwaukee Public Radio, and we both came to Milwaukee around the same time, in 2003 around, and we're both from Michigan, so there you go. And now I'm so happy to see her with her baby, and I'm going to get to hold that baby before this night is over, because again, my husband and I, we're in negotiations for number 3. We're in negotiations. So again, we're normalizing breastfeeding. We are telling women that they have the power to feed their babies, that there is no shame, there is no stigma, and if you're not getting support from your family, you can come here because this is family. All right, and with that, nice transition. We wanted to honor and recognize the Family of the Year. So at this time, I would like to introduce State Representative for the 10th District, David Bowen.
There we go. Thank you.
Portia, thank you so much. Make a round of applause for Portia one more time, please. I am State Representative David Bowen, and it is an honor to serve on the advisory committee for AABN. And I have the honor to recognize 2 amazing individuals. Let me make sure I get it right, what we have on the page. After 10 years, the 10-year anniversary committee wanted to do something very special this year to honor the epitome of the decade of service from family, community, Black culture, preservation. What better way to do that than to present the Family of the Year Award? Because of the work of this organization does, and it wasn't difficult to select this family because they've been a part of AABN nearly for almost the whole time this organization has existed over the last decade. Today we'd like to honor the Brox family, Robert and Jolie. Make some noise for them, please. If they could join me at the stage, keep making noise for them. Relationship goals, y'all matching out here. Let me tell you, Robert and Jolie is truly a power couple that emulates what our community and what our world needs to see. Strong love, unwavering marriage, and community service. Over the last 7 years, the AABN family has watched with admiration and respect for this couple. They are, without a doubt, so deserving of this distinguished award. Rob and Jolie first came to AABN as program participants when Jolie was pregnant. They stayed connected to AABN, and 5 years ago, Robert became AABN's father peer advocate, and Jolie soon followed as one of AABN's breastfeeding peer counselors. Although Jolie no longer is a AABN peer counselor, she is one of the organization's most fierce and dedicated volunteers and advocates. This couple met in college at the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point in 2003, and they got married in 2009. They work very well together as partners and as business entrepreneurs. They express publicly their affection for one another. This September, they celebrate 9 years of marriage with 4 beautiful breastfed babies. I think that's more kids than we're gonna have, Mel. Okay, all right. We're gonna put that Talk about that later. They have a girl that's 7 years of age, 6 years of age, and 4 years of age, and their son is 2. Together, they have merged their passion for family and community through various collaborations to spread health, wellness, and the importance of the family unit. Rob and Jolie Brox are a husband and wife team who created Fit for You, traveling trainer. Together, they bring the gym to you, your home, work, gym, school, church, or local park. Jolie and her work as a prenatal care coordinator works with pregnant mothers and newborns. AABN is fortunate to have them on their team. Please help me give another rounding round of applause for this power couple and present them with the Family of the Year Award. It's not on the agenda, but you got some words?
We'll make this brief. We just want to thank you all for this award. This is the first community award that we've been honored, and we are very, very thankful. And our plan is to continue the mission, continue to spread health, awareness, normalizing breastfeeding throughout the community, throughout our families, and we just want to continue the work. And we thank you all for supporting us, because we also need that to continue on to be as strong as we are. So we thank you all for that.
I second what you said. Smart. I'm so smart. Thank you.
And then just an update, we will not have the citation, though it will be forwarded to the organization as well. So we will now introduce our comedian. Yes. All right. We have an amazing comedian, Chastity Washington, joining us to give us some laughs. Where is Chastity around? All right, anybody want to stand in for Chastity? Okay, never mind, Chastity's here. Make some noise, Chastity, please.
Okay, good evening, and good evening. Can we say congratulations one more time? Ms. Dalvin, thank you very much. Can we say congratulations again also to our Family of the Year? They look beautiful. They're looking like y'all from Wakanda. I was about to give it to y'all. Wakanda forever. Everybody, right now, we was all finna do this. We was This is an amazing event. I thank you, like I said, thank you again for having me. Such a resource, so needed, so necessary. So let's please give them a hand one more time. Just the awareness, the education, the skill, the resource for folks in the community, we need it. We need it because I work with all the children. So I know some of the babies need, I'll tell the truth, brother, Wakanda forever. But they need it. Some of the baby you can, okay, that's all. We ain't gonna say too much, but some of them babies. Ooh, some of them babies. Ooh, they are wonderful. I know we got a lot of parents in here, a lot of mothers in here, a lot of mothers. Yes. Just glad to have a break. Anybody just glad? It's all right. We can say it. We love the babies, but we need a break every now and again. Everybody need a break. I work with all ages of children, and I get to see the good, the bad, the in-between, the ugly, and the confusing. I see all of it. I do. Especially with the small kids. I work with children. I teach arts. I'm an arts educator. I'm also a professional comedian, but I teach the arts. I'm so glad to be out of school. Y'all don't understand. I could do a cartwheel right now. I could do a flip. Anybody else work with children every day? Any teachers in here? A few? Okay, clap for their pain. Go ahead and clap. We was praying for June. Just praying. Praying for June. Jesus, let June come faster. Let it come in April. God, let it come. Let it come in April. You love the children. They're so funny though. I have babies, the small children, they tell you stuff before it happened. I had one of my first graders, she walked up to me with her hand on her neck already. She said, Miss Washington, my throat about to hurt. It's about to hurt. It don't hurt yet. I said, well, go on, sit down, baby. It don't hurt. Small children talk to you about things that you're not talking to them about. Like we going over the color wheel with the children, and I asked them, I said, if you mix yellow and blue, what do you get? The baby raised his hand real fast. He said, me. I said, you. He said, I'm gonna be a firefighter. I said, well, what that got to do? They're so interesting. They're so funny. I teach Fayette also, and sometimes kids are in their own world. We were in the gym, and the baby, he was just in a circle. He was just going in a circle by himself. And I said, hey, stop. Go get on your number. Stop. Get on your number. He went to his number and went right back to his circle. I didn't understand. And I don't know what they do. Kids like the bathroom. Is anybody else? Ma'am, do you, yes? Wakanda, yes? Okay, they like the bathroom. I sent the little baby to the potty. He was 3. I go in there, he in there naked, standing over the toilet. I said, what are you doing in this bathroom? He said, we're making a pool. I said, get out this bathroom. You ever been so mad you can't say nothing, you just point? They always in the bathroom, even the young men, the middle school boys. The boy came out the bathroom. He came out, he was all flustered and bleeding. I said, what are y'all doing in the bathroom? Nothing. His nose bleeding. I said, I thought y'all was in there doing cocaine. What is y'all doing in this bathroom? They in there beating the mess out of each other. They in there fighting, just planned it. At 2 o'clock, we going in the bathroom to fight. I said, y'all something else. But don't get me wrong, I love the children I work with. They're so funny. Every day is an adventure. You never know what's going to happen. I took the babies out for recess one day, and we all know what it is when children need their turn. They're impatient. They kind of rev up like they're going to explode. You ever see? And we took them out on the swings, and we all remember how important the swings were. You had to make sure you got your turn on the swings. You gotta do it like an assembly line. You gotta pick them up, put them on pusher. Pick them up, put them on pusher. Do it fast. Everybody get their turn. I pick up the baby, I put her on the swing, I push her, I turn around to get the next baby. She ate all the wood chips from underneath the swing. Then her mom comes to me and says, Miss Chastity, Amber can't poop. I know she can't poop because she's a beaver. How about that? Ate all these wood chips. Who gonna pay for them, Jesus? Y'all can't take that out of my check. They the red ones is what I'm saying. Every day it's an adventure. Something happened every day. You notice, I realize now within the last 10 years, children don't play as much as they used to play. We used to go outside. You just be in the alley somewhere. As long as you came home when it got dark, you could just go play, just get out. Your mama, get out. Your mama just wants you to get out the house. She wants you out her face. Get out. That's my mama. But now kids go out, we send them out for recess, they almost murder each other because they ain't used to being outside. I go out there, the babies running over each other. They bow, just running through each other. I come in, the baby, she bleeding to death. I'm saving lives. I said, well, come here. I said, let me clean you up. Come here. Let me get some Band-Aids. And 3 other kids, you know, kids are silly. They run up. They was like, ooh, she gonna die. No, she ain't. She ain't gonna die. Go on. Get out of here. And they got attitudes, too. Some of the older children got attitudes. Y'all notice that? They, for no reason, they don't pay no bills. They ain't got no kind of car note or nothing. They upset for no reason. I cannot sound. Nobody want to be here. That's how y'all hear them talk? I don't even know what they saying. They sing to me. Early in the morning, they come up, they tell me what we eating for lunch today. They're like, hey, Miss Washington, we eating tater tots now. That's what they do. What's wrong with you? They dabbing. I'm like, yeah. What's it do? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're saying. Y'all speaking another language. That's how you know you're getting older, because you don't know what they say. Miss Washington, shoes on fleek. Yeah. What are you saying? They listen to all these crazy songs, have you? Some of this music is ridiculous. That's why some of them can't read. I'll be honest with you. Listen to some of this music. We was in class. We reading a novel. And this is what the boy said in class. This is what he said. He said he fell down on his knees. That's knees, boy. It's not knives. What are you talking about? They write exactly what they think. They do not try to change anything. They're brilliant. These babies is brilliant, but you miss it sometimes, that exterior. You know, we read the biography of Eleanor Roosevelt. And I asked them, I said, whatever you learned, I said, I want y'all to write 2 paragraphs about what you learned about Eleanor Roosevelt. And this is a real quote. This is what one of the kids wrote. She wrote, Eleanor Roosevelt was cool, bro. But she was ugly in the mug, bro. All my life, yeah. They something else. They gonna be themselves. It don't even matter what you teach them. I was teaching English one year, and it was during the Easter season, so we showed them the Passion of the Christ so they could learn about Easter. But we couldn't even get through the question and answer period because they was going off in the middle of the movie. We said, what did y'all learn? What did you just see from the scene? They was like, they bogus Miss Washington on my life, swear to God, how they gonna kill Jesus? Oh my God, only Jesus, swear to God, only Jesus. Jesus, my family, Miss Washington, swear to God, on my dear brother head, why? They bogus, Miss Washington. I was like, yes, they are. It's good that you understand. Please get away from my desk, please. They don't hold nothing back. They say exactly what they think. Small kids, we had all different ethnicities. The small kids, some of the kids, they talk to you when they got to tell you they got to go to the restroom. They put their hand in front of their mouth. Miss Jackson, I got to go to potty. I got to go potty. Then the other baby came to me. She just stood over me. She said, Miss Washington, I got a dookie. With that face, that was her face. I got a dookie. Because that is inappropriate, baby. That's disgusting that you said that. That's horrible. Did your mom know? People don't understand the stress you go through working with other people's children every day. They don't know. They don't get it. I had a co-worker. She was from South Africa. We had a room of 18 3-year-olds, if y'all can imagine it. She was standing there with her arms folded. I said, Miss Jennifer, what's going on? What's wrong? She said, I'm sick of this. All the children, they run around. Everybody wants some water. Everybody wants some graham crackers. Elijah over there, he boo-boo like a man. I will not kill him. No. She kept saying, no. She kept... It's a true story. But I enjoy it. I'm blessed to get to do what I get to do. I get to perform all over the world. I got a chance to do the Tom Joyner Fantastic Voyage last year, and done BET and HBO, and God is good. And now we here celebrating this awesome 10-year anniversary here at the African American Women's Center, where they have the best cabbage in the world. They never take these curtains down, or they'll never... Thought it was gonna be a wedding after we got through here. Like somebody getting married after we finish. It's gonna be a reception. I'm blessed. I have a really awesome family, interesting family. I lost one of my family members. It's always hard when you lose somebody. Lost my auntie, but I found out some stuff about my auntie I didn't know till after she was gone. We was sitting around talking about her and celebrating her. It was like, oh, she was great. Remember she did this? Remember she did that? And they was like, yeah, but what about that time she stabbed Frank? Stabbed Frank? Oh my God, I didn't know that. That ain't nothing. What about when she shot Shelley? Shot Shelley? That means she almost a murderer. Why you didn't tell us this when she was babysitting us, is what I'm saying. It's a little dangerous, is what I mean. That's the auntie. Everybody had an auntie you was scared of. She come out the darkness on Christmas when you trying to get your gifts. She's like, get back in the bed. Ah! The food was excellent. I still got to eat the rest of my food. They were so gracious. But I touched the spoon. Anybody else touch the spoon? The lady's like, no, that ain't. No. Give me the spoon. Give me the spoon. This is good. I love to see our folks together celebrating, building each other. It's a wonderful thing to see. I always feel, every time I see black folks in the room, I feel like we at the juke joint in Color Purple. That's what I feel like. That's what I feel like. Watch it every Sunday. Anybody else watch every Sunday? You do, sis? You know it better. You know Bible scriptures, don't you? You know all the words from Color Purple. Anybody else? It's just Sunday, right after church. Don't you do it, sis? As soon as you get home, after you eat your greens, like, girl, I'm gonna put this on. Silly, silly. Color Purple had the greatest lines ever uttered in a film. You remember the lines. You used them on people. I remember the little girl, I used it on her. She tried to skip me. In the lunch line, I was like, it's chicken patty day, excuse me. She said, what? I said, you got the ugliest smile this side of creation. And look, some of the white folks don't know nothing about what I'm talking about right now. They're like, what is she saying? Is that movie with Oprah? Is that what that is? That's good, I saw that. It's good. You like Mrs. Daddy too. You remember Mrs. Daddy? Hey boy, ain't nobody here to greet your pa. It's hilarious. Greatest scene ever shot in a film. When Oprah was walking through that cornfield. Celia was putting up that scare. Like, ooh, she finna murder me. It's about to be bad. The other scene that was excellent to me was when Oprah got hit in the head with the gun. Now the first 5 times you saw The Color Purple, you cried. It was touching. It was beautiful. The next time you laughed by yourself. You know you did. It was hilarious. It's so many funny parts, you don't say it out loud. Mama, titi, mama. You didn't know what he said. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. You remember how the scene went? The woman came, your children are so clean. You like be my maid? What Oprah say? I'm Oprah. Hell no. Man came up to me and said, girl, you know who that is? That's Miss Millie. That's Samira's wife. What you said? She said, man, I own you. Hey. It's hilarious. She had the biggest panties I had ever seen in my life. Did y'all see? It came up to here. Did y'all see that? It was so big and her knees was touching like 2 people. Did y'all see how they? It was an old school set of panties. They was brown. Remember when all the panties was brown and tall? They was tall. I ain't gonna be up here too much longer. Y'all got other stuff to do. This is fun though. Come on with this cake. Come on. Yes, God. This is, you know it's good food when it's like the food you eat after church. Anybody else know what I'm saying? And that's when it's good food. When they come around with that cake and they just hold it, you be like, yes, God. I'm getting ready to go. I did want to say, I hate we are losing all of our awesome musicians. We're losing people. We've lost some folks. We lost Tom Petty and George Michael, and Prince is gone. Prince, anybody Prince? Y'all like Prince in here? A few people. Prince had the best hair, the best boots. I found out stuff about Prince I didn't know till he was gone. Who knew Prince had parents? I thought God just threw Prince down in a purple egg. That's what I thought. I said Prince was in the Bible. He was in the book of Habakkuk. Whitney gone, Whitney gone. Michael gone. It's been almost 10 years since Michael Jackson died. That don't even make sense. I still tear up. I'll never forget the day Michael Jackson died. I remember being at work and I was reading it on the ticker at the bottom on the news. Michael Jackson 50. I said, no! You ever cry so hard you about to throw up? You ever had that? I cried so hard. I said, how is Michael Jackson gonna die? He's not even real. I was devastated. I went home and I took off all my clothes and I sat on my kitchen floor. I rocked myself and I sang Man in the Mirror for 3 days. You hear me? I just sat there. I'm standing in the mirror. I stayed there for 2 weeks till the funeral came on. I still didn't have on no clothes. I was just sitting there, just staring at Jermaine's hair. I was just staring at it. Like, what is Jermaine using in his hair, God? It's so boxed and wavy, God. He's using pancake syrup and Thai sauce in his hair, God. What is he using, God? And at the time I was teaching, I used to work at the YMCA, far out, JCY. And I was teaching a dance class. We were in the dance studio. I said, I'm going to teach them a Michael Jackson routine because I need them to know how awesome Michael was. They didn't know the Michael we grew up with, the one we knew, the little boot brown little boy, the afro, the beautiful eyes. They don't know him. They know the Liza Minnelli Michael. They don't know who we knew. I need them to get it. So I got them all in the studio. We was ready. I counted them off. I said, we gonna kill it, y'all. This y'all last rehearsal before the show. Let's go. Let's do it. And I lost it, y'all. I started crying. I lost it. It wasn't even great. I was just standing there wait. God is an awesome and glorious God. Blessings. Continue another 10, 20, 30, 40 years to the AABN. Y'all be blessed. Thank you guys. I'm Chastity Washington.
Let's give it up one more time for Chastity Washington. I just want Chastity and the rest of you to know that my challenge question when I have to log into work remotely, you gotta have a password challenge question, is nothing but death can keep me from her. And I'm not lying, so I know about the color purple. This is the truth. All right, now that we have our laugh on, now we're gonna get serious, and we have a tribute that we're gonna give right now. This is a surprise to someone special in the room. So I'm just going to start to read, and then this special person will be recognized. It takes many helping hands for AABN to run a successful organization. Much of what the organization does would not be possible without funders, advocates, and volunteers. This year, AABN would like to recognize and honor one of its stellar volunteers. This volunteer will receive the inaugural Decade of Service Award, Aaliyah Love. Would Aaliyah Love please stand? She's totally surprised right now. She had no idea that this was happening. Let me tell you about Sister Aaliyah. Sister Aaliyah is a mother, a wife, and a great woman of stature. Sister Love first came to AABN in 2012 as a pregnant mother. Over the last 6 years, she continued to walk through the doors of AABN. Breastfeedings, gatherings, every month she has volunteered. And she's volunteered her services in any capacity that she could. Oh, don't make me cry, please. Whatever the need, she's been there with a big smile and a very big heart. She and her husband own Heart to Heart, where they train others in CPR. Heart to Heart is a Ruby sponsor of this evening, this 10-year celebration. She's a nursing student at Cardinal Stritch University, where she maintains a 3.5 grade point average. She aspires to become a midwife, and this semester you became AABN's first student intern. Please help me congratulate and recognize Sister Aaliyah Love. She is receiving the Decade of Service Award. Okay.
Thank you so much. This was so unexpected. I do what I do because I love, helping out in the community, and I love Davery. I love Angie. I don't know. I'm just speechless, and I'm surprised. Thank you so much.
Let's give Aaliyah Love another round of applause. Her decade of service, been with AABN, that's wonderful. And now we will have a poetry tribute. A poetry tribute for a poem that was written especially for AABN. May I please have Ajamu Butler please come to say his poem. Did I say that correctly? Woo! All right.
Oh, I can't get no claps?
It was kind of an intense moment, so it was dramatic. It was a dramatic pause. But let's try it again. Poet Ajamu Butler will perform his spoken word that is dedicated to AABN.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. So before I do my spoken word poem, I just want to say, as a black man, it is so important that I support the work of AABN. As a young father, again, as a black man, it's so important to partner with this organization because it is my duty, it is my divine duty to support mothers, to support women, to help build healthy families. So I appreciate AABN, Ms. Dalbury. Ms. Dalbury, I call her Mama Dalbury. She was gonna whoop me last year. I wouldn't take care of business I was supposed to do. She was on my neck, and I appreciate you much. But I won't say too much. Here is the poem. I hope y'all like it. She be light giver, with milk pure like Nile River. I said, she be light giver with milk pure like Nile River. She be the reason plants grow. Her womb turns into the earth when she gives birth. She is the globe. The child knows the feeling of God's touch every time it is breastfed. Mommy looking into baby's eyes as she strokes baby's head. Baby bonds with mom, skin to skin. Inside mom's belly is where the cultivation begins. The woman is the first teacher. We need her. We need to see the queen in her, a divine human being in her. Black woman, I need you to know your worth, because see, you deserve the sun, moon, the stars, and your own corner of the universe. You are the backbone of our community. You represent purity. When you feed that baby life through your breast, queen, you are giving that baby security. And you're giving it the very best. So because you are so vital to our existence, black woman, I offer you nothing less than my best. You are the tired feet of Rosa Parks that made her sit down so she could make a stand. You are the beauty in the raindrops. Black woman, you make the pain stop. We need you to keep fighting for these babies. You can't stop. You won't stop. Elegant as the moon, yet as powerful as the sun. You are poetry. I write this scroll openly to let you know that I support you wholly. See, your milk, it is healthy. There are so many benefits to breastfeeding, so many minerals that the baby is needing. Breast milk holds immune-boosting ingredients. Let your baby drink. Let your baby drink. Let your baby drink so its system can be replenished with plenty of vitamins. And you are what you eat. So make sure you are eating lots of fruits and green vegetables when you feast, because what you eat goes directly into the baby when it breastfeeds. Realize you are not just a sex object, but a blessing. In your pain, there is a lesson. You give life from your womb to your milk to the way your spirit is built. Black woman, life giver, milk pure like Nile River. Black woman, she be the greatest thing you should ever remember. Thank you.
There goes the applause. Let's give it up one more time for Mr. Butler's spoken word. Amen. And I hear you about the minerals and the nutrition. Tatum did ultimately have to have surgery, and while that journey was happening, her hole started to close in her heart. And I just said, maybe it's my milk. I don't know why it's happened. I said, maybe they don't know why it happens, but I was convinced it was my milk. So that is what it got me through. And it closed to a point but then they had to go and surgically repair it. So I hear you. Thank you for that. And now I want to bring up very special guest. I got to know her at Cheesecake Factory over a lemon drop martini. So without further ado, Angie will take the co-founder of AABN for our celebration continues.
Yes, Portia needed to relax after a long day of work. Good afternoon, everyone, or good evening. I am so thrilled to be in front of you guys today, to be able to actually say that we're celebrating 10 years of existence. We started in my living room. We had just built our home here in the city, and I've invited some people over. Dalvery and I, we've been brainstorming, working together for a while, and so this is where we are. And I remember telling Dalvery, I said, your name's gonna be in lights. You know, and I said that to her knowing that because of her passion and her drive, where this thing would go. Because I told her, I'm just going to be behind the scenes. I'm in this with you. I'm going to go on this journey. But know that I'm there supporting you. But she has been the lifeblood. So before I bring her up, I would like to also be able to acknowledge some very important people to our organization. So please stand as your name is called and remain standing as we truly salute each and every one of you. We want to acknowledge your contribution to our success over these past 10 years. We have some of our founding members here. To my left and to your right is Angelica Harris, who doesn't like to be acknowledged, but she was on my living room floor with that young lady next to her who was a baby, all of maybe 4 or 5 months old, in my living room just playing with her. Now look at Lexi today, beautiful breastfed baby. Please stand, Angelica. Her mother, you may have seen 3 people in our PowerPoint. Her mother, Miss Yvette Harris, please stand. You are the lifeblood that gave her life, and you breastfed, so we thank you for honoring her. Dinah Scott, please stand. Dinah Scott. I also wanted to give a special acknowledgement to Curtis Marshall, who could not be here, our only male, I'm not going to call him our male child, but he was our person who really was that lifeblood too, to bring some things to the community for us. So you all are all our beacon of hope, and your tenacity to dream is what brought AABN into existence. So we thank you all for your vision and your commitment. I want to acknowledge these individuals who are here with us tonight. They were part of our inaugural board, our first AABN board. Dr. Sherry Johnson, please stand. She was our first president. You saw her in our video. Mary Shaw. We love you. Our vice president, Erica Horton. She was our treasurer. She couldn't be with us tonight. We also had Ashley Hines, who could not be with us tonight, but they were our inaugural board, and they're the lifeblood that drove us, kept everything on track, kept Dalvery on track, I'm sure, and just through all the things, the adversity things that they may have faced, but they were that voice for us that kept us going. So we thank them for their contribution as well. I would like to acknowledge our current board of directors for AABN, our board president, Dr. Venetia McKinney. Newly vice president now is Felice Green. She's here somewhere. There she is. And our board secretary, Brandy Roberts. We are in need of a treasurer, so for volunteering, if you know anyone in the community, just to do a plug, we do need to have someone on our board. Now I'd like to recognize our AABN Advisory Council members. Please stand when I call your name. Representative David Bowen. Deanna Brown, Daphne Johnson, and Dinah Scott. We would like to acknowledge Dinah Scott. She attended her last meeting with us. She's been with us since our existence. So she attended her last meeting with us as a member of our advisory council in May, and we want to acknowledge her 10 years of service because it was just sincerely dedicated and just relentless in what she was able to do for us. So on this day, AABN would like to present, who she's not going to come up, with a gift of appreciation to Miss Dinah Scott. Thank you all. So now I have the privilege and the pleasure of introducing to some and reintroducing to others my partner in crime, as Leader called her, Dalry Blackwell. I have a long list of accolades that I could give her, but I just want to tell her that I love her. We fight like sisters, truly, and I give her the evil eye and I just get quiet, which she knows, right? But I love her to death because she has been so committed to making sure that AABN kept a pulse on the community and that she's involved. She's been recognized, when I say she, as part of the organization because of her dedication and commitment to AABN nationally. She has traveled. People are seeking after her because her name is in lights, and it's because of her joy and her heart that she has for women, and to be able to support women in our community. So I applaud her on this evening, and I would like to introduce Dalry Blackwell, our executive director and co-founder of AABN.
Wow. I just gotta take a minute. This is not, there's no alcohol. And it's just letting you guys know it's all water. Most of the time when I speak, my mouth gets dry. And I'm sure Dr. McManus knows about that. I'm sure that has happened before. Okay. Angie, I love you too, and thank you for being my partner in crime over these last 10 years. It's been a wonderful journey. Tonight, my spirit is humble. It is with great honor that I stand before you as the Executive Director of the African American Breastfeeding Network. My breastfeeding experience, as many of you know, was life-changing. And because of that, to serve AABN has been an incredible and rewarding journey. AABN's appeal to support our commemorative decade reached many hearts, many wallets, many helping hands, many budgets, and for that, on behalf of our board of directors and our advisory council, I pour out and say, I thank you so much. We thank you so much to all of our supporters and everyone in the room tonight. I just want us, like I just did, to take a moment and just to be in this space together, to look around and to see who's in this room together. It's because of you that we're here today, and it's because of many of you that we have lasted 10 years and have been on this journey for 10 years. I personally want to thank Portia Young, our mistress of ceremony. She has done a beautiful job threading the pieces together of this program so that we can have a wonderful evening together. I know many of you, like myself, I am a little tired. When I first started AABN, people would comment about the time of the morning that I would get up and send emails. Like, Dalry, are you serious? You up at 4 o'clock in the morning? And I had to remind people, first of all, my husband had a third shift job, so we closed our house at 9 o'clock. And secondly, I had 2 children. So I had to make sure that I'm up before they get up. Because once they got up, my commitment and my devotion was to my children and making sure that they transition into life. So I just wanted to clarify that, because a lot of people really didn't understand why I was up so early in the morning all of these years. So tonight is time that we end, unfortunately. I hope that you all have had a good time. And let's give another round of applause to Chastity for making us laugh. And to Brother Butler for helping us understand the power of the spoken word. So I'm not going to take much of your time. I will try to be very brief, but I feel that I've waited all of my life to thank 4 astonishing women who have been on this journey with me all of my life. The first person in the room is my dear mother, who's extremely beautiful, so I'm going to ask her to stand so that everyone can see how beautiful she is. My mom, you are my first teacher, my first role model. Watching you throughout the years taught me the true meaning of 1 Corinthians 15 verses 57, 58. Steadfast, your labor is not in vain. Mom, your labor has been fruitful and bountiful. Just look at me now. Just look at your baby girl. Thank you so much. I love you. You know, God knew that I was going to be hard-headed. He knew it. So he had to send me a second mom. And that's my godmother, Linda Prasbury. Please stand so you can be recognized as well. I first met Linda when I was a student at UWM, and she took me under her wings automatically. Linda, I want to thank you for supporting me throughout the years in all of my endeavors, and for teaching me that all things good can be improved. I love you and thank you so much. Health Commissioner, Dr. Patricia McManus, you know you also must stand up. If I had never worked for this amazing lady through the Black Health Coalition for 10 years, I promise you, I do not think that AABN would be here today. Through her leadership, I learned that it's important to collect data. Thank you so much for instilling in me and insisting that I collect data over the years. I also want to thank you, Dr. McManus, for role modeling for me how to engage families with humility and empathy. I thank you for that, and I love you dearly. The last person I need to recognize is Dr. Sherry Johnson. Please stand up as well, and so that you can be recognized and see, so everyone can see how beautiful you are. I will never forget the day that Dr. Sherry Johnson told me, and she was our president at the time, Dalvery, just keep doing good work. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. You just do good work and show positive outcomes. And that has been my guiding work ethic. Thank you so much. The day that AABN was born, I can clearly remember. It was a beautiful day like it was today. The sun was out. It was warm. And, I love heat, and it was just a warm, beautiful day. And as Angie mentioned, she invited us to her house. The birth of AABN is like the birth of our first child. We never forget it, right? Good or bad, we never forget it. It was Saturday, June 21st. I remember the sun beaming bright through the windows, much like it was today, as I mentioned before. And ever since that beautiful day, our founding members, many of you who you met tonight, have all been staunch breastfeeding advocates, never doubting our collective power and the important work before us. Our journey to normalize breastfeeding has been a road of many accomplishments. Just take a look on the back of your program at all the amazing things that we have been able to accomplish together. But what the program doesn't show you is all the storms we face. No, seriously, winter storms. For the first 4 consecutive years, all in December, the second Thursday in December, we had winter storms during the same day of our educational session. But we never canceled. We never canceled one day. In fact, After the first storm, we had over 10 families attend, which convinced us that if we keep our doors open, families will come. It was so worthwhile to get a little wet and to get a little cold and to pick up all the families who had no vehicles. Angie and I was using our own cars to bring families to the Family Resource Center because otherwise they would not have a way of getting there. A winter weather advisory taught AABN 3 very important lessons. That breastfeeding services are needed, that families depend on us for support, and that we need our partners. Sometimes, yes, this work brings heavy storms, but the immediate results that we have experienced, many of us in this room, from seeing a woman breastfeed confidently and successfully is priceless. It's simply priceless. Like the many times our team saw a sign of relief from a mom who was struggling with latch and nipple pain and tolerating the pain because she thought it would hurt, when we simply said, let's just try a different position. And the sign of relief was removed. The sign of relief, we saw that. And again, it's just a priceless experience to have as a lactation consultant, as breastfeeding advocates. AABN uncovers breastfeeding myths. We expose challenges for mothers to overcome. We embrace normalcy, features breastfeeding success, and we join forces with our allies. We also advocate for strong public policies that support especially working women. Our community breastfeeding gatherings serve as the main pillar of our work, as many of you know. And I have always said, if we cannot have fun, we are not doing it. So I hope that you have had fun tonight, because in our work we like to have fun. As I mentioned, we have held 137 educational sessions reaching over 1,000 families. The jewel of our work is training other women to be breastfeeding peer counselors in our home visit and hospital visit program. Many mothers facing challenges with breastfeeding visit us at our LAC Cafe, which is housed at our office at the Park Lawn YMCA. Our team of breastfeeding peer counselors, presenters, and volunteers, and our father peer advocate, Robert Brox, work diligently to move us closer to our mission. I want us to be reminded today that breastfeeding is not the cure-all, but skin-to-skin bonding and feeding from the breast are two first and immediate acts of love that a mother can give to protect and care for her child. Every mother should have this support. She should have this experience, unapologetic and uninterrupted. Breastfeeding protection, awareness, and support have increased, yet disparities and inequalities linger. Many women try breastfeeding in the hospital, but too often they give up quickly. Only 5% of African American babies receive mother's milk at 6 months. We must change that narrative. We must change that picture. The reasons for low breastfeeding rates are rooted in cultural and systemic barriers such as discomfort with public breastfeeding, lack of family support, low-grade breast pumps for Medicaid moms, and a lack of workplace accommodation, paid leave, and trained child care centers. The American Academy of Pediatrics 2016 policy statement confirms that breastfeeding is not just a lifestyle change or lifestyle choice, but a public health issue. Because it promotes health, it prevents diseases, and it reduces health inequalities. AABN recently joined our national partners across the country in a call to action to support breastfeeding for Black families. What this means is that we will work toward policy, system, and environmental changes to build and strengthen families. Tonight has been a definite confirmation for me, and I hope for you as well, that this work must move forward. We have so much to gain. AABN would like to invite each and every one of you. You all have a role to be a part of our great movement. All you have to do is one thing before you go to bed tonight. I want you to go on our website at aabnetwork.org, pull the page down, call to action, and simply complete the form. And I promise you, within a week, someone will be calling you and asking you for your support to move this work another 10 years. Again, thank you so much, and I appreciate all of you. All of you have touched me in so many ways and give me hope and just everything I need to move this work forward. So again, I thank you. And let's just give all of us a round of applause. Before I step down from this podium, I would like to acknowledge our committee. Would Nigeria Nilly, Angie Wilkes Tate, and Daphne Johnson please come up? Our anniversary committee, believe it or not, have worked the last 12 months fundraising and planning for this beautiful day. You guys are remarkable women, and AABN is truly blessed to have you on our team. So again, thank you so much for all of your work and for putting this wonderful event together. I appreciate you, I love you, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, I'm here to close out tonight's celebration. I again want to thank Dalvery Blackwell for her passion and for her determination and sheer just guts to be able to keep this organization going for a decade in a field that's, you're swimming upstream pretty much every day. Something that our community needs to embrace more. And Dalvery is that trailblazer making it happen. So thank you. Before I go, I just want to say thank you for having me. I was, again, a passionate person to be able to say yes to this cause. I hope that you enjoy the evening, and I do want you to partake in that call to action. I will be going to aabnetwork.org and filling out the call to action. Also, remember, social media. We got to get this trending, right? We got to do hashtag AABN 10 years. Put your pictures on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and tag them so that we can at least let other people know of the good work that was done here tonight and the good work that this team continues to do for the next, I'm going to say 20 years. Let's go. All right. Thank you very much. Have a blessed evening. Oh my goodness. Now see, I knew there was one more. This was a setup, but I don't deserve these, but thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Let's give our mistress of ceremony who did a wonderful job. Thank you for connecting our dots.